Hello, and welcome to The Right Side. The Right Side is a news talk show produced by the Taunton Republican City Committee. We strive to present local, state, and national issues that impact our community, and we welcome all points of view to foster greater understanding and awareness. We want to make it clear that the views and opinions expressed on The Right Side do not reflect the view of Taunton Cable Media Access. And now, with great pleasure, we welcome you to The Right Side for a discussion of the issues of the day.
Okay, here we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to The Right Side, a show hosted by the Taunton Republican City Committee, conservative talk show aimed at dispelling some of the myths associated with the Republican Party. And actually, we like to center on not just conservative issues, but some of the outreach things in this community, some of the things that affect the Taunton area. And tonight, we have a special guest on, Mr. Dan Raposa, who is the airport manager at the Taunton Municipal Airport. Am I right?
Yes, it is, sir.
All right. And what we wanted to do is find out a little bit about it. I'll just lead into it quickly. My first experience at the Taunton Municipal was being kidnapped by Pete Mazzone, our very own, and brought down there, told that I was going to go up in a plane. A few minutes later, we were 1,500 feet up. Absolutely beautiful that day. I want to thank those people. It was Bob Adams and Mr. Rodia and his lovely Judy.
Right.
Lovely other half.
They're always willing, volunteering at the airport.
Oh, they were great.
For anything that we have, whether it be airport day or when we had the hot dog and hamburger in the spring or the pig roast in the fall, those guys are always the first ones that are up there, up front, and volunteering their time and their services to the airport.
I'll tell you what I got a kick out of was how good people were. It was like a little community all nestled in there. It's a pretty big airport, actually.
Yeah, it's a decent sized airport. We got 256 acres. Basically, all of it's not usable because we have our share of wetlands and we have our share of areas that we can't use. But we have a 3,500-foot main runway and we have a 1,900-foot secondary runway. It's a gravel grass strip, but the main runway is the one we use all the time.
3,500 feet.
3,500 feet.
So here's my most obvious question. I saw the planes that we were in, the Piper we were in.
Right, Piper Archer.
Your typical low wing or
low
high
wing or the Cessnas are basically the higher wing planes.
2, 4, 6 passengers about
most of them are 4 passengers. Usually they run 3, pilot and 2 others. They can run 4 depending on where they're going and how big the people are and everything like that.
And that's going to typically be the typical airplane. But could they handle on a 3,500-foot runway a much bigger plane?
Oh, we got some TBMs in there now, which are turbojets. We can bring in King Airs, and we have citations occasionally come in. If the airport can handle it, if the pilots are willing to come in, if the insurance company of the people flying the airplane are willing to allow it to land at a field such as Taunton with 3,500 feet, etc., we can handle it.
All right.
Yeah.
Now,
we don't handle that on a
day-to-day basis, but
we can handle that.
Which is going to lead us to one of our other questions later on when we talk about the possibility of the casino coming in, not far from the airport, that actually might actually boost.
It could possibly, definitely be a boost, especially I look at it as being with private people coming in on their own plane or being escorted, renting or coming in and stuff like that and being dropped off to some time to be at the casino. It depends what they have.
Excellent. So now we were going to go back. We talked about this before, just giving us a little history of the airport. How long has it been in place? And
well, the airport in East Taunton was originally started somewhere around 1919 by the King family and a couple of other people who were into aviation, and it maintained itself as a private airfield. Continuously in operation, except for a certain period during World War II when they couldn't operate around the coasts. You had to close basically the airports. But then in 1959, there was a commission formed by the state of Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and they created what is now the Taunton Municipal Airport, and they appointed people to run it called the Airport Commission. They are completely in charge of the airport. The Airport Commission is appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the city council. They serve various three-year terms. Most of them are staggered throughout, and they like I say, they run the airport. And Since 1959, they've created runway 1230, which is the main runway. It was built, created. They put lights on it, and originally it was 3,000 feet. Then they made it 3,500 feet, and that is the runway that is basically services the airfield. It's
now, you've been there with them how long, sir?
I've been out there for a long time. I was on the commission in 1991 to 94, 95, and then I became manager. Since then, I've been manager since 1997, I believe, on a day-to-day basis out there.
Oh, that's a long time. Now, just to let you know, we have Pete on the street who goes out and does all the filming and talking to people on average, and he was out there taking pictures while we were up in the plains. So in just a moment, he's going to give me a little cue to say that we've got the first segment to show some of the flying around, which is absolutely beautiful. I don't think we can do it justice, but if you see the look of terror in my eyes, it's only because I'm not used to going up in the little planes. Once I got up there,
it was
Mr. Rodia made it absolutely fun to be up there.
Some of the best scenery around is right leaving like the Taunton Airport and going in any direction. But most of the time when people go up, they head towards down the river. They follow the river trail. You go down the Fall River, go to Battleship Cove. You get your bridges down there that are interested, you know, scenic and stuff like that. Especially in the fall, you take a trip out of Taunton in the fall. The foliage is just incredible from the air.
Oh, I couldn't get over it. See, I mean, I've known this area all my life. I've lived up here between Fall River and driving up to Taunton. How absolutely beautiful it is by the Taunton River. All the scenery that you can pick up, all the woods that exist.
Exactly.
I'll tell you, you know, all the talk about overpopulation and all the crowding. When you get up in the air, you realize
there's a lot of room available.
A lot of trees out there.
Yeah. And the cranberry bogs are nice too, especially when they're ready for harvest. A lot of times you can take a flight and you can see them harvest, and most farmers harvest wet, so that they're all gathering it. They're out in the water and they're gathering the berries into the thing.
You get to watch some
and you get to see that. Yeah, you can fly over that and see it.
1,500 feet. Are we almost ready for Pete on the street? Pete on the street in just a few seconds, Dan. Then we get to see that flight. All right. And when we come back, we'll talk to you a little bit more about some of the things the airport does and how people can learn to fly.
Okay.
Are we ready? 5, 4.
All right. Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, we're here on the Right Side TV today with Mr. Dick Rodia. Dick Rodia's been flying out of East Taunton since 1986, you said?
86.
And we really appreciate you helping us out today for the Right Side TV.
My pleasure.
We got a big favor. I don't know if you're going to do this, but we've got this host named Doc Steinhoff, and we're going to need you to get him in the sky. Do you think we can get that done?
We'll try. I got some bath bags in there.
All right.
He's going to need them.
All right. All right. Thank you. Now, what are you doing here, Dick? You're de-icing the plane?
No.
He's
Yeah, I'm debugging it.
All right, debugging it.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc. What's up? You got any last words?
See us on the right side.
All right. All right, we're going to have to be careful here today because we have turkeys on the runway. Now, do turkeys have the right of way? Here we are today with Dick Griffith. How long have you been a pilot, Dick?
Since 1988.
And you're still looking for a book on how to take off?
Absolutely. Books are good.
All right, Dick, what was it you were telling me about that little plane over there?
That plane there is a plane on the field that tows banners.
Okay.
When you see a banner around Taunton, it's usually right there, that plane right there.
How you doing in the back seat there, Mr. Bobby Adams?
I'm doing pretty good, Pete.
All right, here we go. You ready for doing this? Hey, Bob, when did you get your pilot's license?
I just jump in a plane and go. I don't need a license.
Oh, all right. All right, as we take off out of the Taunton Municipal Airport, we're going to climb to 1,200 feet. We're going to take a tour. The first landmark you see off to the right is the new Buddhist temple being built over on South Street in Rainham. There it is in the center of your screen. It really stands out on the skyline. And now we're going to head to Walmart. Hey, let's see if we can land in the parking lot. I want to pick up some goat cheese. Hey, why did I say that? I never eat goat cheese. We're 1,200 feet high. There's Walmart. Center of the screen, you're seeing the other plane that Doc Steinhoff is in, piloted by Dick Rodier, owner of Highland Machine Company. We're heading out over the city. We're just passing over Taunton State Hospital. You can see the mushroom-type water tank over there on the right. There is a tremendous shot. I asked my pilot, Dick Griffith, can we get close enough to get a close-up of the other of Doc and the other plane? He said no. Here we are flying over the TCAM studio. It's just to the right of the Taunton River, and we're heading out now to Fall River. Fall River is just a few minutes away in the sky. And here we are heading towards Fall River. We're looking at the basin. I always called it the basin when I ran a boat up and down the Taunton River. We're looking at the Taunton Yacht Club on the Taunton River. Those towers in the distance are the power plant, the electric generating station. This is a beautiful, beautiful river down here. A tremendous, tremendous recreational resource. Hey, there's Doc and his airplane off to the, just in front of our wing. And in a shameless plug, Doc asked to fly over his dental clinic down in Fall River. We had a little fun because we radioed over to the other plane and told Doc that we had arranged for the battleship Massachusetts to open fire on him if he got too close. So he stayed a good distance away, but it was really a thrill to fly over the venerable old battleship. And now we're heading home. We're heading back to Taunton, and on the way, we're going to see if we can find the house where my granddaughters live and see if we can buzz the house. And there's Doc. We're heading back, and we're going to go back to the studio now.
And we're back on.
Yeah.
Again, Dan Raposa, who is the airport manager at the Taunton Municipal Airport, is going to show us a little bit about the airport, if you can zoom in on this, and also tell us a little bit about the 15, 20-year history of the airport.
This map that I have here now is basically some of the accomplishments that we've done as an airport in the last 10 or 15 years. Between the federal government, the FAA, Mass Aeronautics, now called DOT, Mass Aeronautics, and the local share.
DOT oversees the...
well, they are yes, FAA and the Mass DOT are basically the funding sources that the city uses to make airport improvements.
Really?
And during the past, since 1997 up until 2013, they've put $7,250,000 into this airport, and then it probably will go up to $8 million by the time 2020 comes around and stuff like that.
Say since 2007?
Since 1997,
okay.
all the way up, and these are the things that we've completed. These are ongoing, and these are the things that we got planned right now. Some of the things that we started off by doing a resurfacing of the runway. We did the taxiway over, and then we did the ramp was over. They constructed the east and west roads so that we would be able to take non-aviation traffic off of the runway so that they wouldn't have any infringements with air traffic, etc.
Just so I can make sense of it, this is your main runway.
That's the secondary runway. That's runway 422, the grass strip. This is the main runway 12 and 30, and this is a lighted runway, and this is the one that we have there.
And where we set up with the hangars is this whole row through
exactly. Here. And the biggest thing that really happened to us since the year 2000 and so was the fact that we've had all these hangars have been constructed, and because these hangars were constructed and we had to the ones that were originally there, that we've able to get a source of revenue out of there. The airport's sources of revenue are derived from the selling of avgas fuel obviously to the airplanes,
private flyers,
and the land leases that the buildings pay. They pay a land lease to the airport.
Some of these buildings actually owned by private flying clubs?
All of them are. All the buildings are owned privately. We own the snow removal equipment building, and we own the terminal building, which is the two things. But any other building, as you might have seen in the aerial shots that you had a little while ago, those are all private hangars, and they're owned by people. There's different kinds. They might have a condo type association. They might be completely private and everything. But most of those, all of those hangars are filled for practical. They're all filled up with airplanes.
Just so we can get our bearings, 140, Route 24.
Well, they're not on. They don't come quite on the map. This is Caswell Street. This is Caswell Street here.
Okay.
And this is South Precinct Street. South Precinct Street goes out and becomes Church Street in Rainham.
Okay.
And then you got Route 44, and then you probably got Walmart. You know, up in that area beyond.
Okay, just to give people an idea
beyond what you see out there.
Can you see this pretty clearly? Oh, it's coming up great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All
now,
right.
So that amount of money that's been spent, the state has definitely kicked in that amount of money to help with the funding.
Most of it is 95% funded by FAA, and Mass Aeronautics puts in about 2.5%, and the local share, which is called from the airport, is put in the other 2.5%. And all the local shares from the airport are derived from the users of the airport by the funds that I've just mentioned before. We don't have any money from the city treasurers. It doesn't cost the taxpayers any money per se to have us out there. Granted, we use the same police people, and we use the same fire people that are necessary to service the community. But you're not getting it. You're not getting.
Not special service down there.
No, you're not getting the services.
And
from the
there's quite a bit of water around the airport.
Yeah.
So these wetlands are well maintained, protected.
Right.
And I take it there's quite a bit of wildlife there as well.
Oh, we certainly have our share of wildlife. We have deer, turkeys, fox, coyotes.
I think we saw a couple of wild turkeys running across when we were there.
There's a bunch of them that have been there now for a few years. We used to have off to the field here. We used to have heron, a beautiful bird, would migrate, come up in the summertime and go back.
Now, how does that affect the airplanes? Because obviously,
well, it's not because we're small, and because it's that it can always be a problem. You never know. We've had a couple of wing strikes through the years, but nothing major. But
nothing
it could
major?
be. It could be. I don't want to. Huh?
Nothing major, but
nothing major, but it could be. You never know because
that would be a good lead to the next segment.
Yeah.
We've got Pete on the street for a second short segment in just a moment. Oh.
Hey, this is our 30-second shameless plug of the week. If you're interested in the history of aviation in Taunton, the King family, Wings to Fly, a pictorial history of the King family and aviation in East Taunton. This little gem was produced by Susan McGrath, who also directed it, edited it. There was a great narration, and she sends out a great big thank you to Sue King, who takes care of the King Family Archives, for loaning her the images. It was produced in 2009. It's available for 20 bucks at the Old Colony Historical Society, 66 Church Green, 20 bucks including sales tax. How are you going to go wrong? It's the gem of the week.